So I'm Helen O'Keefe. I'm a crofter in Elphin, and I've started up the Green Bowl here, which is a local food hub. So the Green Bowl is a collective of growers. We've got about 6 or 7 people who grow veg, keep animals for meat, eggs, and we've got some bakers and some people who grow herbs. And we put this stuff up for sale online once a week, and people from the community can order it, and then once a week we deliver. We're getting food that's all grown and produced right here in our tiny little village and making it available for people in our communities. Working together, we can do a lot more than we could working separately. So each individually, we're too small to be worth delivering or worth marketing. So working together, we've got a much bigger range of products, so it's worth people shopping with us, and we can cut down the cost of supplying to people. I think it's really important to our resilience as communities that we're producing more of what we need ourselves. It's really good for providing quality and nutritious food for our communities. We're at the end of long supply chains, so the food that we get in supermarkets is not always that great. It's a really good opportunity for local businesses, for creating businesses out of growing food. And it's a really good sense of community to be doing more for yourselves. If you're setting up a food hub, you have to look at your own situation and your village and the way things are, and really work with the people you've got, your suppliers, but also with your customers, and every situation is going to be different. So I think you just need to find what works in your particular situation and be willing to change that if things change. You know, it's a very fine margin game, and you really need to make things really efficient to make this stuff work, and that's just about working the best you can with what you've got.
The biggest thing is it's given my business cash flow, and that is a big thing with any farming. I think you really want money coming in regularly, as opposed to just coming in a couple of times a year. I produce mainly beef and pork. We've recently set up our own butchery unit because access to butchers was becoming more and more difficult. It's made a massive difference to our production and our ability to supply meat all year round. Even up to a couple of years ago, I was the youngest crofter in Elphin. I'm not any longer. And that's a real concern. Like, my daughter would love to get a croft and can't. And I'm hearing in all communities that the youngsters can't get access to crofts. A lot of that is because older crofters are just sitting on them and they won't pass them on.
I feel very optimistic about crofting. In fact, I'd like to see it valued more, as this is an option you can do, and this is a valuable option when you're producing food for your community. Today, I think, has really given me the confidence to go back and start really setting up something similar in Applecross. It's been a dream of mine for a few months, and I think just being here and seeing how they're running it is the push I need to go back and do it at home.
I think crofting does need a lot of support going forward, and I think we're not seeing it come through at the moment. I think particularly in terms of the agricultural supports and the government policies, these need to support small producers. You know, crofters have a very small amounts of land quite often, and a lot of the schemes at the moment are focused towards really, really big amounts of land. It also needs to reward the quality of the land as there is, not just trying to improve things that have been damaged in the past. So we need to not penalise people for having already done a good job with their land. And I think we also need schemes that prioritise food growing and production, as well as biodiversity and carbon sequestration, because there's no point putting aside whole amounts of land and taking them out of agriculture. We need to actually be growing food at the same time, and we can do both biodiversity and farming at the same time if we have the right support structures.